So, hey guys, Chauzu here, and we're at part 4 of my 2023 tier list, where I'm going through every legend released up until December 2023 and where I put them on my tier list. Today we're going to go through, or in this video, we're going to go through tier 6 and 7, and 6 is those units where I got 6 points from my 10 categories, which are in a public Google sheet that you can find in the description if you're curious to look. And when we gotten this far past the half of the tier list, there's going to be less units since each tier gets smaller and smaller on average. And it's also going to be really good units that are good in most things, but as we get higher, there will be fewer and fewer places where they lack ability. So I'm not going to go into as specifics here. If you're interested in where they get every point from and what they don't get a point from, feel free to reference the Google Sheet. But let's get started. First, we have Legend Corazon, who has aged really well and got a big viability buff from his 6+. Now he even does orb manips, part dex, part tandem, and makes them matching, so he's really good at setting up super tandem, which is a big thing in the game now. And other than that, he still has his amazing utilities. He of course got points for special, crew ability, uniqueness, stuff like that. I'm sure I gave him a point too. You can also use his special very early, so he's great for stuff like Pirate King Adventures and such. Don't even need to stall. 6+, we won Snake Man. Also got a huge level limit break buff. Now he's just solid overall, and he sees use like in everything except for like Super Boss, PvP and such. Great versus Grand Voyage Alwida. And he has 3 turn buffs, or boost, chain boost, makes or smashing for 3 turns, has utility as well, and some of the utility might be locked to captain though. I don't remember, like when I made the list I checked all of these, but it's hard to keep all of the information in the head at the same time, but that will be reflected in the points given to him. But they're just an amazing unit overall. Shiki, another unit that really got a big increase in viability this year with the 6+ and level limit break. Can actually remove special buy now. Can do a big death hit which is unique to him. Good captain ability, resisting the spear and having good numbers. Special is just really good. So I'm sure he also got points for like Pirate King Adventures and such. He definitely got a PvP point too. I'm sure I gave him a point too. I like him a lot. Cracker, also a PvP point. I'm sure I gave him a Super Boss point as well. Still really good to have a 3-turn Call Affinity and Chain Boost buff. So special is nice, solid sub, pretty unique, but bad captain, and yeah. I've actually used it for stuff for like Pirate King Adventures, and I'm sure I gave him a point there. Ace. Definitely got a point in his captain. He has one of the best captains in the game, resisting both special bind and special reverse for int, fighter, and shooter. Definitely gave him points for stuff like not Pyro Rumble, but stuff like Treasure Map, great versus mini bosses, Pirate King Adventures, very solid if you can build an int team or shoot a fighter. Don't think I gave him points for special and crewmate viability though. Those are definitely lacking. Also not good in Super Boss and in Pyro. And he is actually good, pretty good in Pyro Rumble. No, not him. It's the V3 Ace. So those are probably the points he lacks. But otherwise, full score for him. V1 Kid. Actually a very well-rounded unit. Good in PvP. Has potential uses in Pirate King Adventures thanks to his captain ability, which lets him remove damage reduction when you tap with a bomb orb with him. And then he removes threshold with his special, which is also really solid in general. Access to unchangeable orbs in Super Bomb. Just a solid unit, won't see use in Super Boss and such, but other than that, he's fine. Capone crew, Grand Voyage Kuro got a point in for sure. Not in PvP though, not in Super Boss, but and not in Captain either, I think. But as a sub, great. Very good crewmate with the swap as well. Pretty. Maybe he got a uniqueness point, I don't remember. Definitely got a Chauzu point though. Love that unit. V2 Kid, definitely not a captain point. He's not a great captain. Definitely a point for his special though, which is very versatile, where you can get attack or boost or color affinity and has potential to be double special. So you got a crewmate one as well, uniqueness as well. He's super unique, great in PvP. Yeah, you can build some unique teams with him using overhealers like the 3 wives, for example, Robin, Boa, and Nami. So yeah, he might have actually got a Force of Training points, maybe the only one, but yeah, you can make some very unique teams where you just spam his special every stage, which is just insanely bonkers and super fun. Yamato, we talked about 6-star last video, so the same applies to Yamato. Yamato just got an extra point for being a more viable sub. 6-star rarest is used as sub, but 6+ regular is used as sub on a variety of teams. So yeah, just creating a lot. Super Boss, PvP, good cap, good. Well, the special is getting worse, but I still think I gave it a point for special. Nami Usopp, Grand Voyage Local Sea Monster, a point for that. Has seen some use in... I'm not sure if I gave them a point for Super Boss. Definitely not Captain though. Captain is awful. Special though, really good. Can get potential 2 buffs if you can apply the delay. Really good swap as well to add more viability. Unique. Not sure what other point I gave them. This might be one of the biggest question marks people will ask. I'm sure this is a unit where most people will just give a 0 and move on. But this Big Mom V3 is probably one of the most slept on units in the game. And if you follow me, you can probably understand that, considering how much I've used this unit. I gave point for Captain and Special. Not sure on crewmate viability since she's a lot worse as sub, but might be possible. But the real reason why this unit is good is that as captain you auto launch the special, and even as a sub, when you use the special, you got that end of turn damage going for so long, and that just helps a lot with building teams. And you also get access to Semler Orbs, which are unchangeable. So I've used this for a recent Pirate King Adventures, for example, so she got a point for that as well. Uniqueness for sure, probably gave her a point as well, because she kind of feels like my girl. Everybody hates her, but I like her a lot. Usopp, Yasop, definitely a Super Boss point, probably a Pyro Rumble point as well. They've seen some use there on shooter teams. Point for special, crewmate viability. Not sure if I gave them for uniqueness or not, because there's quite a few guaranteed delayers now. Not sure about Captain either, to be honest. But yeah, definitely a really useful unit. I think I gave them a Pirate King Adventures point because they often end up being pretty useful to... Well, especially since we got a lot of like Uta and Shanks and stuff where you wanted both. So we'll see if I use them long term in PKA, so they might lose that point eventually. Hina gets a treasure map point for being a perma booster. She gets a point for her capped ability, which is super unique. Does a uniqueness point as well. She gets a point for a special, I'm pretty sure. Not sure if I gave her a point for her crewmate or not. But yeah, I think Hina will age pretty well, like 10-turn orb lock. Just such a unique ability, especially its units like Hiyori, so you can just keep 1 orbs forever, for example, which is super strong. And you can just ignore that aspect of the game forever. Oh yeah, she got a Pyro Rumble point, of course. I always forget Pyro Rumble. She's really good on the Cerebral teams with like Black Maria, Ulti, and Robin Koala, stuff like that. Yamato, people might think this is a bit low, but there's just not that general usability in a lot of different modes. Like we have PvP, we have Super Boss, but I wouldn't say Yamato is like a go-to unit for any other mode. But definitely got a point for Captain, and probably for the Special as well, and Crewmate. But after that, no more points. Probably a uniqueness point as well, due to the damage reduction, attack boost and stuff. So that's, I guess, are the points for Yamato. Moving on, Nami, and this might be underrating her. I don't think she'll go down a bit. She might go up a bit, but I have a bit of a bias towards Super Tandem Zoro since he's been my boy. I'm maxing first. I've used him since release. I haven't really got the same development with Nami in that way. And then we have stuff like she's awful in PvP, for example. And as I don't think she got a crewmate point either. She's pretty lame as a sub, but special great, captain ability great, good in parking adventures if there's paralysis, in Super Boss if there's paralysis, even if it's not paralysis. But I know she didn't get a Chauzu point. Rayleigh Gaban, great captain. Gave them point for the swap as well, of course. Crewmate viability. Didn't give the point for the special though, it's on the weaker side. Has seen a lot of use in parking adventures, got a point for that. Not sure if I get what other points I gave, probably a Chauzu point, I like them a lot. Another unit that got a Chauzu point was Iwanko, which is probably my favorite legend of 2023 released. Didn't give captain ability point, but got point for special and crewmate viability. Not a Power Rumble point either. Maybe I gave for captain because it's a rainbow captain and you can keep getting recovery orbs if you hit against color affinity. That's pretty nice on a modern unit. Definitely uniqueness point. Thanks to that special that can give you like any buff or debuff removal you want, depending on the captain. So yeah, I'm a super big fan. Also gets a point for Grand Voyage Buggy, which he's really good against. Robin Koala, super solid. I'm sure they got a point in like Pirate King Adventures. I think they got a point for Super Boss because there was a Super Boss where they were really good on release. We'll see if they are good again, otherwise they'll drop that point, of course. But Captain with special reverse resist. Special really solid, amazing swap. Swap and special together can give you 3 turn or boost color affinity. Maybe gave a point for uniqueness. Don't think I gave a Chauzu point though. Finally, Big Mom, captain ability, special, maybe uniqueness. Definitely gave a point for Super Boss as well and Power Rumble, and that's basically all the points right there. Doesn't see using any mode except for that really right now. So yeah, that's the 6 pointers. Now we're going even higher to 7, and we're going to see a lot of familiar faces starting now. Maybe some unexpected too. Put it a bit higher. There we go. Okay. So we want Rayleigh. Awful in PvP. Awful captain. But like other than that, usable in every mode. Amazing special and everything. Usable in Grand Voyage versus Zoro and Mihawk. So yeah. One of the best aging units in the game. Brook here. Also well-deserved higher placing. He got it for the captain ability. He didn't get a point for special or his sub-potential though. But other than that, he's been usable in everything. Pyro Rumble, Super Boss Kizuna when there's weird mechanics and you just want to die and get rid of them. You can use Brook for that. Pirate King Adventures, B-Bro clears with him every month. Doing a good job with that. So Yeah, not sure if I gave a Chauzu point. That might be the missing one. Otherwise, it's like a clean sweep in a lot of categories. Like, imagine if Brook had a good special, then he'd be even higher. Komu. We talked a bit about the 6-star that got to tier 5. Kumu has a slightly less good special, but makes up for it by being a full board guaranteed matching ore manipulator. She also gets points for having a captain ability that lets you farm berries, the best berry farming captain in the game. Also a bit more viable in PvP. Not sure if I gave her a point for that. But yeah, basically a different take on 6-star Komu. Optimally, you want both in your box, or buy Kisna tickets to change them as you need them. Rion Chopper also got a point for Berry. Might have got a point for Local Sea Monster, Grand Voyage Local Sea Monster. Other than that, not sure if I gave it for Captain, I don't think so, just for the mode. But definitely for Special, for his sub potential, he got a uniqueness point, probably a Chauzu point as well. Maybe even Super Boss, I'm not sure. He's a size straw hat after all, those get used. Pudding, the question is more what she didn't get points from. Probably not Super Boss, not Captain ability, but other than that, yeah, probably not PvP either. But other than that, probably every point. One of the most unique units in the game, one of my most used legends overall. Can copy any buff you want, give it back, and in the process you also get -2 CD, can get your special back fast. She turns any orb, any buff into a 2-turn buff as well with level limit break, which I've seen used like in the latest Kisna and such. So yeah, really good after PvP. Also has utility with special, of course, Bind the Spear. Will age super well. Kizaru, Grand Voyage Kuro, he's really good there. Good captain as well for speedrunning. Not sure I gave him a point for that though. Definitely a point for special, sub potential. He's very unique since he has a level 1 special at 7 CD. That is basically a normal special, insanely good. Definitely a Chauzu point as well. Then I'm not sure what else I gave him points for. Not PvP, I'm sure. Robin Jinbei definitely got a PKA point. They have been used almost every PKA. No points for Captain, no points for PvP. But other than that, points in most stuff. Maybe not in other mode. I don't think there's any special mode they are good in. But I'm sure, like, other than that, special, swap, everything, like, they got you covered. One of the best utility legends. Law definitely got points for the captain, for the special, for his crewmate viability. Super Boss, I'm sure. Pirate King Avenger as well, I guess. Not for PvP though. Don't think I gave a Chauzu point either. Not sure about uniqueness. But yeah, Grand Voyage, Buggy too as well. Of course. Scabbard. Oops. Move up. Up. Captain ability for sure, resisting attack down. Special, really good. Not sure about sub though. They rely a lot on being captain for optimal usage. They definitely got a PvP point. They got a Super Boss point. Probably Pirate King Avenger as well. So yeah, that's basically it. Luffy, also captain I'm sure. Definitely special, definitely sub. Probably Pirate King Adventures, probably Super Boss. I think PvP too, even if that's iffy. Yak, also really good in most stuff, not in PvP of course. He's not... I think he got a captain point though, because he can be a pretty good captain with his superclass and such. You have to think about Yak in the context of using all of these beast pirates together. Like the captains are pretty interchangeable most of the time. But yeah, special, crewmate viability. He is good in some Grand Voyages too, like Luffy 1 for example. Luffy Yamato, one of my most disliked legends, such a poorly designed unit, but they got a PvP point. They might lose it though just for power creep, because everybody just runs 6+ gear 5 instead of them on free spirit teams. Obviously still good in Super Boss, even if they are annoying to use. I'm sure they got a point to Pirate King Adventures as well. I forgot about Treasure Map. I'm not sure if I gave that point to anyone. You can always check my Google Sheet if you're curious. But yeah, Special is super strong. Swap, not sure if I gave them for that. With the crewmate viability, I probably did. And yeah, I actually don't remember, like, it's a different thing to write in the sheet when I have to think about what is Luffy Yamato good at. I just think about all of the bad stuff with them, so it's hard to focus on the good stuff. Sanji here, also 7. And that might look a bit low. I also feel like it's low when I think about it. Maybe I should actually just bring up the document here and check. They should be pretty close to the top. Okay, let's do that. I'm pretty curious what I put on Sanji. For Sanji, PvP of course, not Treasure Map, makes sense. He got a point for Super Boss of course, PKA of course. Not other modes, yeah, there's no other mode I can imagine wanting to use Sanji in. Didn't give one for Captain, which might be a bit sus. But if you think about it, no utility, it will just be numbers. The superclass itself is not that great, so yeah, I think it's borderline, so I don't think he'll ever get it now because that captain ability will just decrease in value. Obviously, he's really good to jump in and be captain and go back down, but that's not really captain ability, is it? But yeah, otherwise, rest of the points he got, special, crewmate viability, uniqueness, he got a point from me as well, of course. He's really cool. Versus Blackbeard, not good in PvP. But other than that, great captain, resist the spear, can get chain multiply boost if you have the spear. Great special for 3 turns, does true damage, which I usually give a point for myself. Damage through normal attacks only, that is. So he's a solid sub as well. He's usable in Grand Voyage versus Luffy 2. And I'm sure I gave him points for like Pirate King Adventures and stuff as well. I even gave him a Treasure Map point, actually. But can't remember exactly why. I'm trying to think about what he's especially good at in Treasure Map. But yeah, if I disagree with something later, I can just remove the point. Momo. He got a PvP point, mainly for defenses, but he might lose that eventually. Yeah. No Treasure Map point, Super Boss point, Pirate King Adventures point. No point for other modes. Can't really know what else I'd use him in. But he's seen a lot of use in stuff like Pirate King Adventures. And he will probably see some use in Super Boss as well, with his big 4-turn attack boost really carrying him. But yeah, I wonder if I put on for him as sub. We want Momo. But yeah, I actually gave him a sub, but yeah, that kind of makes sense. He didn't get a Chauzu point though. Kid and Law, definitely no PvP point for them. Other than that, they are pretty good overall. I'm a bit curious what they didn't get a point for. Now when I have the dock open, I just have to look. No point for Pyro Rumble, no point for Treasure Map, which makes sense. And they also didn't get a point for Captain ability, which also makes sense. It's one of the biggest disappointments of the unit. Like, if they just had a good Captain ability, they would have been so good. Otherwise, they are super unique. Only unit in the game that can let you pierce normal attack only for other units. You can pair them with something like V2 Doffy to then kill, for example, which is very interesting. Also a very good super tandem. Special itself is good except for that. And yeah, very good unit in general. Shanks is a unit I didn't talk that good on in release, but I guess I joined the gang that if you don't pull, you don't want to talk too good about the new legends, but he has a very good cap where he can get the captain back. I know I didn't give him point for special, because I do think it's not that great, and even if you can use it twice in one turn, it doesn't get that much better. Likewise, he's not the best sub because of that. But good in PvP. I don't think he maybe didn't get a super boss point either, but other than that, or he probably got, but he didn't get a Chauzu point at least. Hiyori, pretty newly released. I talked a lot about her. I don't remember if I gave her a PvP point. I did. We3 Hiyori. But no point for treasure map, no point for super boss, and no uniqueness point. Mainly because she is actually really similar to V1 Hiyori when you think about it. But yeah, kept ability nice, good multiplier, good the spear resistance, special, you can easily get a 3-turn attack and ore boost without much hassle. Like, she's just good in a lot of stuff, good versus Grand Voyage, Buggy. Shout out again to B-Bro for making a good team with her. So yeah, just a solid legend. But yeah, with that, I've been talking for 25 minutes, a good amount of time. And in the next final video, we go through the final 3 tiers when we're really going to get to the echelon of OPTC units. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.